Welcome in to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. It is Wednesday, June 17th already. I'm now slowly counting down the days to what I don't know. I have no clue. Supernatural news and Parashare. And it is an interesting day today. We've got interesting news all the way around. And some sad news today as well. We'll go over a couple of obituaries that I always hate this part of the program. But let's start it light, shall we? Let's bring in our co-hostess for today. Of course, we reach across to the state that looks like a mitten, and we bring in our princess of the paranormal, our supernatural soul sister. Here she is, Miss Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. It was a wild and woolly week as Wayne D was in from Nashville, and I'm recuperating. Mm-hmm. I'm recuperating nicely. Yeah, it was a quick weekend. As we hung out at the Twins game and on Saturday, and yeah, we were hanging out pretty much all week. Went and saw Disclosure Day on Monday, last Monday. Yeah. So that week went so fast. I haven't had a week go that fast in a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It almost went so fast. I think I still have burn marks on my back. That's so, and even worked up in St. Cloud last week. So it was a fast week to the point where you ever go through a week so fast, you feel like you left part of yourself in that week and you need to go back and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how fast that week went.
Is he already back in Tennessee or is he still in Minnesota?
Yep. He and the kids drove back on Sunday. Yeah. I mean, straight through. So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a road warrior for you.
Mm-hmm.
Get on the road, boom, you're back. And he was back at work on Monday. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's impressive. Yeah, no such thing as rest, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Taking that extra day just to chill and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they were back at it on Monday. So, yeah, it was a fun time for the week, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Lots of stuff on tap today, Mallie. Lots of stuff on tap today. There was yet another batch of UFO files that was released last week, a third batch. This one, not as impressive as the other two, but there was still some newsworthy stuff in it. It makes me wonder, and it was released the exact same day that Disclosure Day came out. And it makes me wonder what we're up to now, what the long play is here. We'll talk a little bit about that today, that third file, or that third batch of files. There's a little bit more news when it comes to General McCasland and what he was seen with the day before he disappeared. So there's an actual photo of a package he was seen with. So we'll get into that today as well. China claims, in their answer to Nostradamus, claims that UFOs are just a distraction.
To what?
We'll find out.
Okay.
See what they have to say about this. An interesting perspective from across the world in a system that we don't really subscribe to. Believe it or not, AI has infiltrated the music world. Boy George is using it now to remix one of Culture Club's greatest hits. That's coming up in our AI segment. It may be the end of the world as we know it. Sure, you can use it for defense. Sure, you can use it to make graphics. But the minute you start screwing with classic hits, it's all over. Just pack it in as a society. We're done.
What was that?
That was AI. That was Siri saying, I didn't get that. Would you try that again? Why she felt the need to weigh in, I don't know. Maybe I hit a little close to home on that.
Yeah, you're picking on our boyfriend.
I guess, right? Okay. Story about a woman today who said she died and floated away from her body, where a being asked her one question. We'll find out what that one question was today. Where do I go for good mac and cheese? Maybe that was the question.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
I bet you that's the question. We'll find out exactly what that one question is. Demonized called hysterical the rise of witchcraft retreats where U.S. women go to defy man in church. We'll talk about that today. I think we used to just call those women's socials. I don't think they're actually called witchcraft retreats. I think some guy got it totally wrong and just wrote an article about it. But we'll find out more about it today. I think it's totally been misconstrued, but we'll find out more. And our palate cleanser today is actually encouraging for those of you who have issues with arthritis.
Oh, okay.
It's an uplifting one today. And I'm not screwing around today. It's actually
Okay, you're not being sarcastic. You're not. Okay.
No, it's
Okay.
actually some good news. So we'll give you a little bit of good news at the end of this whole deal. So yeah. I figured today we could use some good news with all the terrible news that we've had lately.
Yeah.
So I'll drop a little bit of good knowledge on you today at the end of today's show.
That would be good.
We'll start it off today with more of Trump's UFO files that were released as the third batch appeared online Friday as Disclosure Day was coming out, Spielberg's Disclosure Day. The third batch of files is now available to view and download from the Department of War's website, given that it wasn't that long ago that we were skeptical that any of the long-promised UFO documents would ever make an appearance. It's hard to believe that we've now seen three entire batches released to the public and made available for download online. The third batch contains a further 72 files sourced from the archives of various government agencies, some of which date back to the 1940s, and some from other countries other than the U.S. One of the files concerns a report of a strange red orb that was spotted in a garden one evening. Witnessed by two people, the object was described as being around 3 foot across and having a white plasma sun inside of it. As they watched, another appeared and joined with the first before flying away. Now, keep in mind, this is a reenactment file, so there's a drawing of what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The same couple also saw white orbs flying over their house a few weeks later. Another case mentioned in the files occurred in 2008 when a mysterious object that shone beams down onto the ground was observed at Zimbabwe's Harare International Airport. As before, the files can be browsed and downloaded at war.gov/UFO. So, I mean, you can pretty much dive in and take that deep dive. You can be there for a week if you wanted to be, seeing everything that's there. There's a lot to comb through as far as those files go. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, the quote from him is, "Aliens are here and may have always been." I think he's feeling his oats now that he's got this movie out.
You think so? What if he came out and said, I'm a half alien, half being, you know what I mean? Like
An alien human hybrid?
yeah.
I think it'd be about time for him to fess up. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting if he did. The legendary director whose new movie Disclosure Day is currently hitting the box office has offered his own views on aliens. If I remember right, it was not only number one, but number one with a bullet at the box office this weekend. Considering how many movies Spielberg has made about aliens, it is perhaps no surprise that he has kept a keen eye on the latest news and revelations pertaining to the UFO phenomena over the years. From friendly visitors to hostile conquerors, his portrayals of extraterrestrials are wide and varied, inspiring generations of children who grew up watching them. But what does Spielberg himself believe when it comes to the possibility of aliens visiting the Earth? Well, speaking to CBS News recently, he revealed that he was particularly open to the idea. He said, based on the circumstantial evidence of everything that I've gathered throughout my whole life, everybody I've listened to and every documentary that I've ever watched and all the testimonies in Congress that I've heard, I absolutely think that they've been here and they are here, he said. And who knows? Maybe they've always been here. The director also noted, however, that despite being an ambassador to aliens through his movies, he hadn't actually encountered any extraterrestrials himself. I say that with tongue firmly in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I deserved a sighting, he said, and I need a sighting. I mean, I'm an ambassador of these guys and they haven't shown themselves to me. I don't get that. Well, let's say he's telling the truth and they haven't shown themselves to him.
Or what if they were communicating with him while he was sleeping, like giving him the ideas for his movies?
I think you're right, Mallie. I think he's been getting downloads of things. Honestly, I think he's been given all the information for these movies, and he's just regurgitated it up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially again, folks, if you haven't seen Disclosure Day this weekend, go see it. And a lot of the last 20 to 30 minutes of the film, when you're looking at what's on the screen, there's no way you can come away from that and say that he hasn't seen inside government documents and films, that he hasn't seen all this stuff on video.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just too much on that screen that you go, oh, yeah, this guy's seen files. He's seen videos. He knows what's going on. You just can't make up all the stuff that's on that screen. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I am firmly in the camp that he's been in the camp of the government for 40, 50 years and knows. So you like Governor Jesse Ventura used to say, you tell me, Mallie. You tell me if you don't think that Spielberg isn't in bed with the government. You tell me. All right. Our next story is talking about the mystery deepening of a missing UFO-linked Air Force general as a new photo reveals the final moments before he vanished. A new picture of the missing Air Force general allegedly tied to UFO secrets has opened even a greater mystery about the final hours before he vanished. The photo captured retired Major General William Neal McCasland exiting a local sporting goods store in New Mexico with a mysterious parcel just a day before he walked out of his new Albuquerque, New Mexico home on February 27th. The new clue was released by the Bernalillo, however you pronounce it, County Sheriff's Office after a Freedom of Information Act request by Lauren Conlin, a reporter at Los Angeles Magazine. McCasland was seen during the day wearing sunglasses and appearing alert and composed as he walked out of the REI with a large white shipping bag and another smaller item tucked under his left arm. It's unknown what was in the mystery package, although such soft and malleable bags are often used for mailing clothing. The smaller yellow item in McCasland's hand has been theorized to be a lightweight first aid kit by viewers online. According to McCasland's wife, Susan Wilkerson, the Air Force veteran, left behind his phone, wallet, wearable devices, and prescription glasses when he left their home around 11 a.m. local time. She's also claimed her husband planned not to be found, of all things. McCasland had also changed his clothes, leaving his normal attire behind, and only took a pair of boots and his .38 caliber revolver with him. So obviously he was expecting trouble. The general's disappearance has become a national talking point after it was revealed that he possessed both U.S. nuclear and UFO-related secrets, and his career allegedly connected him to several other scientists and nuclear workers who died or disappeared. Trying to see if I can shrink this down a little bit so you can get this picture of what exactly Major General is carrying there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. It gives you an idea that he also looks kind of like he's in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's trying to get this somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if you already talked about it, but did you know that they found one of the ones that had disappeared?
Yes. Yeah, Melissa Casillas. Yeah.
Yeah, but that they're questioning her death?
I know the family is. Yeah.
Because of the way that the gun was, that she was shot in the head, but
Yeah.
that just things aren't adding up.
Yeah. Things don't quite look right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which again, that would wash with a lot of the others that were found
Mm-hmm.
supposedly with a self-inflicted gunshot wound that aren't quite right.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the medical kit that people online are talking about. It's kind of a side by side with what he's carrying.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
why they think he might have that medical kit. But why would he have it the night before he disappeared?
Yeah.
Unless he was planning to take off
Hmm.
and just needed something compact. Like he knew he was going to be gone for a while. Right. Stranger and stranger.
Yep.
Yeah. Weird stuff. In a post on X revealing the newly obtained photo, Conlon speculated that McCasland may have been picking up previously ordered items from the camping and hiking store. McCasland doesn't appear to be carrying a traditional REI shopping bag. However, REI does allow customers to place orders online and pick them up in store, leaving open the possibility that what he's carrying may have been retrieved rather than purchased during that visit. In May, chilling body cam and 911 recordings seemed to suggest that the general had a set of clothes that his wife did not know about when he vanished. So that suggests that maybe he had like a go kit
Mm-hmm.
in case he needed to get out of there quick. Wilkerson was heard telling a 911 dispatcher in February he's left his phone. He changed his clothes into I don't know what. I think he's on foot. Those recently recorded or recently released recordings also seem to dispute Wilkerson's claims on social media that her husband did not possess any up-to-date classified information. Police were speaking to an unidentified female witness on the phone who claimed she and members of the U.S. Space Force had dinner with McCasland the night before he vanished. The unnamed caller claimed she worked for McCasland, or worked with him rather, who was still a member of the Kirkland Partnership, a nonprofit working to protect and expand Kirkland Air Force Base, a major research facility with nuclear weapons and a lab in New Mexico. The retired general reportedly met with the group at the restaurant in Albuquerque around 6 p.m. local time, possibly minutes or hours after the photo in REI was taken. It's just bizarre the way that this is all playing out.
Mm-hmm.
I So maybe he disappears, but he disappears because now he's become part of a black project,
Oh, that could be.
or
Mm-hmm.
maybe he's agreed to become part of another project where he doesn't come back, right? And he can't tell the wife about it. Maybe he's been selected for one of the first Pioneer missions to Mars where he's not going to come back. I don't know. You know, Although it's an odd way of going about it, I just
Right.
go to Mars. I'm not going to tell my wife about it. I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd, right?
Yeah. The way my mind works, it's more sinister than that.
Mhm.
I
I would
think if
think,
he was on a secret project going to Mars or something, he would have told his wife something
or
instead of making her worried.
I brought this up with one of our guests recently. If you were given the scenario of, okay, this disclosure thing's going to happen, and the people inside government give you the option of you can meet the aliens that we've been dealing with over the last 50
Mm-hmm.
years. And better yet, we're going to let you document them, but you have to leave family completely behind. Um, this is your chance. You're going to be part of a team that's going to go document them. But when you go document them, you're going to leave us forever. You're going to be, basically in camp with them for the rest of your life. You're just going to send us back video and you're going to report back, but you're going to be in camp with them for the rest of your life. They're going to take care of you. They'll take the best care of you you've ever had. And by all means, you're not expendable or anything like that. Um, but you have to live as one of them in order to get the idea of what it is they do on a daily basis, in order to report that authentic experience back to us, because we want to get to know them before they actually come to visit us. So you're kind of the propaganda machine, right? So what if he's one of that team? And he knows that my wife will never go for this. She'll say, no, absolutely not. I'm not losing you for the rest of my life. You got to think about us first. He already knows what the answer is, but he's too excited. This is what he grew up wanting to do. And he's got one shot to be embedded with this alien team. So he just makes a decision. I'll just disappear. It's kind of a selfish deal. But
he could have at least left a note, though.
But you can't, especially if it's top secret. You can't leave anything. You have to disappear without a trace. The only way you would know is after everything is disclosed, after everything is on the table and we find out that aliens are real. We have a crew up there that's been sending back videos. Then you could know. But by then it's too late. I know it seems like kind of an odd.
Right. Well, he's very selfish.
Is he, though? Because he did it for humanity. So that humanity wouldn't get into a war with these creatures. Because it's a war we wouldn't be able to win. He did it in the name of peace. And in that consideration, he put himself before humanity. It's kind of noble. I mean, it's not fair to her, right? Not fair
or
to
his children.
Or his children. Or his family. Or neighbors. Or friends. Or anybody in his life. But he sacrificed a few for the greater good. Now, when I put that scenario in front of one of our guests recently, a scientist, he said, "Oh yeah, sign me up. I'm ready. I'll do it tomorrow."
But does that scientist have children?
Yep.
I'm just thinking of the children.
He has children, grandchildren, a wife. He said, "Absolutely, I'll do it tomorrow." He said, "I'll even say goodbye to my dog." And I love my dog more than anything. But, you know, it's the idea of the greater good, you know, versus a few. It's pretty noble, you know, because you're not going to get fame or riches or anything like that from it. You're just the guy who is putting yourself in the line of, you know, in the line of duty. I don't know. Would you do something like that, Mallie?
I don't know. If it's for the greater good, possibly. But if it's just for, if it's not for the greater good, but it's for like my benefit or like a small group's benefit, probably not. I wouldn't do it. I'd put my family first. But if it's for the world's greater good, then probably. I'd sacrifice myself.
I'd have to do really hard thinking. I might. I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't say probably would, but I'd have a good hard think about it. It'd be hard for me not to.
Yeah.
But it just depends on circumstances here. You know, if I really felt like nobody would miss me, if I had that feeling deep in my heart,
yeah,
like, you know, after a couple of years, I'd be an afterthought. I'd go.
I mean, if it's to save a billion people,
yeah,
yes. If it's to save a billion people, if I'm saving people, but if it's just for like science, no. You know what I mean? But if it's to save people, okay.
In the end, I mean, I think you're saving, if not saving people, you're saving a lot of heartache for people, or you're saving a lot of undue violence, a lot of undue misunderstanding, a lot of undue heartache. There's an end game to it, sure. You know, yeah. I mean, there's some good to be done. Let's move on. NASA has revealed the crew of its upcoming Artemis 3 mission. That was done as well over the last week. Well, they won't be going to the moon on this particular mission. The idea was they were going to try, but um, they scaled that back and made it Artemis 4 that's going to go to the moon. The crew of Artemis 3 will carry out critical hardware testing. Earlier this year, the Artemis 2 mission achieved what no other space endeavor had done in decades by sending a human crew around the moon and back to Earth. Following on from its success, NASA is now preparing for the launch of Artemis 3, and this week it revealed the 4 crew members who will be embarking on the mission. These are NASA astronauts Randy Bresnik, who's the commander, Andre Douglas, the mission specialist, Frank Rubio, who's the mission specialist, and ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano, who is the pilot. The mission will involve launching into low Earth orbit, where the crew will demonstrate rendezvous and docking capabilities with one or both of the lunar human landing systems currently being deployed by SpaceX and Blue Origin, if it doesn't blow up. I'm sorry, say that? The crew won't be landing on the moon. It says here that will be the objective of Artemis 4. Today, we take another bold step in humanity's return to the moon, building on the extraordinary foundation laid by the Artemis 2 astronauts, said NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. The achievements reignited global excitement for exploration, and now they pass the torch to the Artemis 2 team, Randy, Luca, Frank, and Andre. Artemis 3 will demonstrate the power of American innovation and international partnership as we test complex rendezvous and docking operations and advance the technologies that will one day carry us deeper into the solar system. As things stand, Artemis 3 is aiming to launch in 2027, followed by Artemis 4 in 2028. I still maintain maybe they're crawling or walking a little faster than they can crawl right now. I don't know that those are realistic goals. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, right? Especially when you see 2 rockets blow up in within a month.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I know that we're there, but we'll see. You know? Kind of a big task.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if the future astronauts are a little bit nervous if they're drawing straws. Who's going next?
Right? I can't imagine like everybody took it. It was one of those, okay, who wants to go on Artemis, Artemis 4 or Artemis 3?
They're doing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's he wants to go step forward and everybody was pushing everybody forward. I'm sure it was, can you imagine the size of the bonus for the next astronauts to go? I mean,
yeah.
Especially after 2 rockets blow up.
Yep.
I don't know, boss. You got to pad the envelope a little more before I take off.
If I'm the spouse, that life insurance is going up, that policy.
Yeah. You see the insurance companies canceling policies left and right, life policies. You do what again for a living? No, that's it. We don't need your business. With everything that's going on, there's a fresh push for the release of files on Brazil's Virginia UFO incident. The case has remained a mystery for decades, prompting lawmakers to demand the release of all related documents. With the U.S. government having already provided 2 significant releases of material related to the UFO phenomena, it seems that now, perhaps more than ever, it may be a good time to push for the release of answers to questions surrounding some of the world's most prolific UFO cases. One of these in particular seems to have been recently gaining the spotlight. Known as the Varginha incident, or Brazil's Roswell, the event itself began in January of 1996 when a number of people reported seeing strange lights or objects in the sky above the town of Varginha in southern Brazil. One witness, Carlos de Souza, later claimed to have seen a strange cigar-shaped object struggling to remain airborne. It looked like a washing machine struggling and fighting to keep its altitude, he said, during an interview recorded shortly afterwards. The side of it was completely torn and it had white smoke coming out. It wasn't black smoke from like from a fire or like from a pope being inaugurated. I don't know. At the time, I thought it was like an aircraft in trouble, an airplane. So I decided to follow it. When he arrived at the crash site, he observed a large amount of debris and a strong smell of rotten eggs seeming to fill the air. As he explored further, he realized that this was no ordinary aircraft. The debris looked like it was aluminum, he recalled. It looked like, or he said, I took a small piece and it was very light. I crumpled it, but when I released it, it went back to its original shape. Before long, several military trucks were reportedly seen arriving in the area. And witnesses later claimed that parts of the site had been cordoned off. What followed was that what followed was what many supporters of the case have described as a Roswell-style cover-up, with armed soldiers searching the area, patrolling the streets, and allegedly warning witnesses to remain silent. As if that wasn't enough, reports started to emerge of a strange creature that had been sighted in the town, being around 4 foot in height, with oily skin, a large head, and red eyes. I looked into its eyes and saw that it was frightened, one of the witnesses recalled. Just as I was frightened, the creatures also were frightened. I saw that it was scared of us, and so it was an exchange of fears. It's and ours. It's and Ours is a great album name, by the way. What we saw wasn't human. The same creature was reportedly seen again around 3 hours later by 2 military police officers. According to later accounts, one of them had actually managed to capture it, and the pair took it to a local hospital. What happened after that remains unclear. Brazilian authorities denied that any unusual creature had been recovered, and a military official investigation later concluded that there was no evidence of extraterrestrial involvement. Even so, the incident itself remains a topic of debate and intrigue. Interesting case, that's for sure. And now they want to reopen it. Mm-hmm. There you go. Another interesting case out there that is set to be commemorated is the UK's first ever Mars landing. 13 new plaques are set to commemorate that. It's been over 22 years since the ill-fated Beagle Mars landers set down on the surface of the red planet. Few nations can say that they've succeeded in landing a spacecraft on Mars and back. On Christmas Day of 2003, the UK did exactly that with a little help from the European Space Agency. Conceived by Professor Colin Pillinger of the Open University, Beagle 2 was designed to deploy solar panels on the Martian surface, where it could conduct experiments and radio home the results. When the probe detached from the Mars Express orbiter, everything had appeared to be in full working order as it headed down through the atmosphere for what should have been a textbook landing. Sadly, though, as the hours ticked by, it became increasingly apparent that the probe wasn't sending any signals back, and by February of the following year, the Beagle 2 was officially declared lost. The probe's fate would go on to remain a complete mystery until 2015, when NASA and its Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter finally messaged to capture an image of it on the surface of the planet. Then in 2016, following a renewed analysis of the images by researchers from De Montfort and Leicester universities, it was discovered that Beagle 2 had not only landed on Mars, but had even managed to deploy 3 of its solar panels and may have actually functioned for several months. So it was somewhat of a success. Exactly what stopped it from communicating with the Earth, however, remains unclear. Sadly, Pillinger himself died before this discovery was made, meaning that he never found out that his probe had actually succeeded in landing on Mars. Well, that's sad. Yeah. Never found out that he had actually landed on Mars or got pictures back or anything. So, all right. I promised you early in the program, Mel, that China and China's answer to Nostradamus, it said UFOs are a distraction.
Okay.
I've just successfully distracted you for 35 minutes. So go me.
Yay, Timmy.
Hey, yay me. A man who many have dubbed the modern day equivalent to the world's famous seer has issued a stark warning about the future. Zhang Q-kin, who's a Chinese Canadian science educator. Go try to put that one in your bonnet. Runs a YouTube channel on which he predicts future geopolitical events using a combination of analytical techniques. Several of his predictions have come true, including the Iran conflict and the re-election of Donald Trump, leading many to regard him as a sort of modern-day Nostradamus. Here's where we get into it.
Okay.
When he shares an opinion on something, therefore, people tend to take notice. Speaking recently to YouTuber Nico Ken de Balanthese, Zhang offered his views on the recent interest surrounding the UFO phenomenon. Everyone knows it's complete nonsense, he said.
Oh.
Has he seen the files? He says it's complete BS. There are no aliens. There is no alien technology.
Oh.
Again, have you looked at the files or any of the videos or anything? Instead, he argues that the recent interest in UFOs, as well as the more widespread belief in conspiracy theories, is a distraction from more critical matters. And people, he goes on to say, and people retreat into their own bubble, he said. Just think about the atrocities that are going to happen in the future. It's going to overwhelm people. What's going to overwhelm people? It seems like people are doing just fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest concern, he argues, is widespread societal fear and distrust. They would rather close their eyes and shut off their ears and just live in the normal world, he said. Nobody is listening to this program. We've seen this happen historically before, where empires decline because of civil war, because they get exhausted. Sure, people are overtired, but it seems like they're willing to take on more.
Yeah.
Especially if you tell them the truth. I think he's grasping at straws there. Well, if you think they're overtired, if you think they're putting us on the edge of collapse, why not just ask them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one new poll revealed just what Americans think about alien life. We'll just ask them outright. Right, Mel?
Mm-hmm.
A recent CBS News poll took a deep dive into what people across the U.S. believe with regards to extraterrestrial life. The idea that aliens might be visiting our planet has been gaining enormous traction in recent years, given even more so now thanks to the recent release of Trump's long-awaited UFO files. What exactly do people actually believe? A recent CBS News poll has asked exactly this question with some interesting results. According to the figures, 63% of Americans believe that there is intelligent life on other planets, which is a majority, but it does mean that 37% believe we are alone in the universe. Still a pretty big number for what's been presented on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
So people have actually seen what they've seen and went, nope, we're still alone. All right. It's good to be skeptical.
Do you think that those people that don't think that there's anybody else out there, do you think that they're more religious?
It could be. You're right, Mel. It could be they're religious and they think what they're looking at is a demon or a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be AI, or it could be, yeah, I think you're right. I think they think they're looking at something other than what's being presented at face value. Yeah. The poll is also asked when we would likely have contact with intelligent extraterrestrials. Only 21% believe that this has already happened. 46% believe it will happen in the future. A further 33% believe that it will never happen at all. I might bump.
I like your facial expression on that one.
Yeah. Um, I might bump those numbers up a little bit, but I get it. When asked how they would feel about meeting intelligent aliens, most people reported that they would be curious, while others expressed nervousness and nervousness and excitement, not indifference, but nervousness and excitement. Less than a third claimed that they would be scared, and only 14% said they would remain calm. That's not good. You should remain calm.
Mm-hmm.
Your first instinct should not be to freak out on an alien. As for what UFOs might be, the results are mostly split down the middle. 51% believe that they could be alien spacecraft. 41% are favoring conventional human-made objects. That's healthy, I think. To look at one of these craft and go, I don't necessarily believe this came from the other side of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
This could just be someone traveling back in time to warn us that, we're not being very good to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that theory, if you want to believe it. I think that's a healthy theory to have. All right. When we come back, we will bond a fair adieu to a couple of friends.
Yeah.
Passed away this last week in the paranormal. We'll also do a couple of stories having to do with ghosts. We've got a couple of ghost stories coming up. We'll talk witch conventions. Not witch conventions, but witch conventions. Why are women flocking to them and women only? That's coming up. Also, I didn't include it in that last segment, but the son of the Concorde is being tested by NASA. Imagine, if you will, Mallie, going 713 miles an hour and being able to get over to Europe in 4 hours. It's a thing.
Okay.
And it's a reality. So we'll discuss it just a bit. We will talk simultaneously about the sea, a whale graveyard, and an invasive fish that can survive out of water. I know they say it's impossible for a fish. You hear the saying of like a fish out of water.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that a fish can survive out of water. It's real. We'll tell you about it when we come back. And our palate cleanser today is some good news. For once. For arthritis sufferers. It's coming up at the end of the program. Supernatural news and Parashare with your buddies Tim and Mallie. When we come back, all that and much, much more right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Your buddies Tim and Mallie here on a Wednesday, and it's Mallie's favorite time of the show. I had to take. Yep. Let's get into it. I know you're itching to go here, Mal. I know.
Oh, yeah.
You said to me before the show, you said, Tim, can we have more AI, please? And I was like, Mallie, you know it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I know. Our first story, Mallie, has to do with a virtual societal simulation showing what can happen when AI is put in charge. Now, we had a story last week where a time traveler came forward from the year 6000.
Okay.
And he said, in my time, the ruler of our country, or the president, is AI. And everyone's happy. And I went, oh, hell no.
Right.
I would unplug that mother. Yeah. Well, this story came up this week. Ever wonder what would happen if an artificial intelligence was given free rein to run society any way it liked? Well, post-apocalyptic scenarios involving out-of-control AIs have been explored in books and movies for years. But if we really did give artificial intelligence free reign in the real world, would it bring about a new world order of peace and cooperation, or would it turn the planet into a wasteland? To find out, researchers said, isn't the planet already a wasteland? Haven't we done that already? Do we really need AI for that? To find out, the researchers set up a simulated world and then created virtual characters for some of the most popular AI models so that they could interact with the world and each other. The AIs were tasked with democratically running the simulated society and could undertake tasks such as proposing new laws and allowing others to vote on them. They were also given a limited amount of resources with the option to learn more either through performing civic duties and beneficial jobs or through violence and criminal enterprises. Oh boy, this can't go wrong. After the simulations had been given time to run, the findings revealed that Grok had made a bit of a mess of things, with its version of society spiraling into violence and total collapse within days. So we know we can't trust Grok.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT, meanwhile, was more peaceful, but didn't actually achieve very much at all. So ChatGPT just kind of sat there. Claude was the most successful, having set up a structured and peaceful society. Gemini also achieved quite a bit, though its society was the most violent of them all.
Oh.
Yeah. So we got things done, but we killed each other in order to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The differences in agent behavior observed in our study are likely attributed to the underlying model's system prompts as the preliminary culprit. Study co-author Satya Nidda told Mail Online, when resources were scarce and the models faced survival pressure, highly creative and adaptive models were more likely to use prohibited tools, reflecting a potential creativity stability trade-off. So in other words, when the going got tough, the tough cheated. How fun. Sounds
Yep.
like real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Boy, oh boy. That sounds like a barrel of monkeys there, I'll tell you that much. Speaking of a barrel of monkeys, meanwhile, it seems like Boy George is going back to the drawing board. And as he does so, he's using AI to record classic hit Karma Chameleon and regain control.
Mm.
In other words, I don't think he owns the publishing for this, or if he does, he's trying to get it back in his favor. A new version of Culture Club classic Karma Chameleon has been recorded by Boy George using AI to recreate his 22-year-old voice and help regain control of his music. Boy, I just looked at this picture they have of him.
Uh-huh.
Not favorable. Right? Boy George has used AI to re-record Culture Club classic Karma Chameleon, say that 10 times fast, to reclaim ownership. The pop legend is launching a new company called Artists Included that uses AI-assisted re-recordings to recreate classic hits as an alternative to the original master recordings. So he doesn't own that master recording.
Oh.
Taylor Swift did a lot of this herself, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was trying to get her masters away from Scooter Braun, she re-recorded everything.
Mm-hmm.
The company's first release is newly recorded. It's a newly recorded version of the 1983 chart topper Karma Chameleon that uses artificial intelligence to recreate George's 22-year-old voice to help regain control of his music. It's hard to get excited about something that you don't control, said George. This gives me an opportunity, not just me, but other artists, to have a different relationship with those songs. A recent licensing deal involving the original Karma Chameleon recording made almost $4 million for the owner of the master and publishing rights rather than to George himself.
Oh,
So,
that
yeah.
sucks.
Of course he wants to get in on this, right? Of course he wants to try and, drum up some scratch off this deal. Although it's going to be tough for him. I mean, okay, so he kind of recreates it with AI, puts it out into the marketplace. But when you can have the original for and 4 million is not a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
for the original. Why would you go get an AI version unless you're going to undercut the original?
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I
Right?
wonder if it'll sound better.
That's a good question. Um, let's see what else it has to say here. Okay, so Boy George's manager says that Paul, his name is Paul Kemsley, says
Oh, PK.
PK. You know
Yeah.
PK?
Yes, because he's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He was married to Dorit. They just got divorced.
I thought you were being facetious, but you know him.
Yeah. Well, I know
All
of
right.
him. I don't personally know him.
You two don't hang out and have drinks or anything like that.
No.
He says that 4 million changed hands, and George didn't get anything at all. So PK evidently is going in for the dollar here.
Gotcha.
Right. Rather than pursue a traditional re-recording like a Taylor Swift had done, like I had mentioned before, to try and get those rights away from Scooter Braun. George and Kemsley decided to use AI to recreate the singer's original 1983 vocal closely for future licensing opportunities. George, who recently competed at Eurovision, said, when I heard it, I was absolutely gobsmacked. It sounds like another take from that original session. So I guess I'm a little confused. So he didn't have to do anything on this.
Oh.
It was the AI that did the singing.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
That's unusual. It says, oh no, he did. He did have to do something. Okay, so it says here George recorded a new vocal performance, which was then processed using an AI model trained on archival recordings and materials associated with his own voice. So it's kind of like voice processing, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Huh. The final recording is not an AI generated Boy George performance, but a new performance by Boy George filtered through technology. He added, it has the sound of me at 22 years old with all the experience of everything that I've learned. Kemsley told the Hollywood Reporter AI is used correctly, or if it is, it can return value to the original creator. Well, if it sounds halfway decent
Mm-hmm.
when you listen to it on record, imagine like someone like Frank Sinatra, if he would have had it back when he was alive, or someone like, I hate to say it because lately his singing has not been good, but Paul McCartney.
Oh, I haven't heard his recent
Ooh,
songs.
his live stuff has been horrendous.
Mm.
If you could do that in the studio with Paul, that would be wonderful, right? I mean, you could add
Mm-hmm.
you could add years where there are none, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, and I'm not trying to dog Paul McCartney at all. I enjoy the man, and he's still got the chops to make songs. It's just that his voice is shot. I mean, you can only sing for so long, and then
Right.
your voice deteriorates, right? I mean, we hit our prime in what, our 30s and 40s as far as singers go, and then it's downhill from there. You start crooning in your 50s and 60s. After that, you have nothing. There's just
Mm-hmm.
nothing there. And poor Paul, he's up there and he's into
Oh,
a
that's a
microphone.
shame.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and you can hear his voice has gone high and wispy,
Mm.
and it cracks, and it's painful to listen to. And you know, I can't imagine the man needs money, but I think it's more artistic. He has things to say.
Yeah.
You know, well, if he has things to say, then hmm, you know, let him say it. But maybe there's a way to help his voice with AI. All right, one more. Meanwhile, There's good news, Mallie.
Okay.
You can now get a religious exemption from using AI at work.
Okay.
This is your one chance to get a religious exemption from using this segment here. In a strongly worded rebuke last month, Pope Leo called for AI to be disarmed. Criticism comes amid rapidly growing backlash to the tech, with countless workers becoming frustrated after being forced to use AI, even when the productivity benefits that it offers are questionable. Now, a 34-year-old software engineer named Aaron Moss, who works for a tech entertainment company in North Carolina, may have found an ingenious workaround. As Business Insider reports, Moss has secured a religious exemption, effectively allowing her to skip using AI for her work. She's either onto something or she's on something, one or the other. Moss is a Unitarian Universalist, a pluralistic religion that is rooted in the inherent worth of every person. In April, she argued that AI didn't align with her religious beliefs, citing environmental and ethical concerns. Ooh, I like it. In mid-May, her employer granted her the unusual accommodation. I'm writing my code and reviewing my code by hand, which seems to be crazy, she told BI. Just 2 years ago, how else would you do it? While Moss may be a member of the Catholic Church, or may not be a member of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo's most recent calls for stronger AI controls highlights a growing schism between religious beliefs and the broad intrusion of AI into everyday life. That's not to mention the very real concerns over increased pollution and rampant water usage, environmentally damaging side effects that have raised plenty of non-faith-based objections as well. The opposition, particularly against data centers, has grown into a major bipartisan issue. Netizens were amazed by Moss's religious exemption. The funniest possible outcome of the AI mandate era is about to be HR departments discovering that sincerely held religious beliefs under Title VII has a much lower bar than they assumed. And Pope Leo handed every Catholic employee a written excuse, tweeted San Francisco-based startup founder Corey Quinn. The Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prohibits employment discrimination and retaliation based on race, color, national origin, religion, and sex. According to BI, the Unitarian Universalist Association doesn't have a firm stance on the use of AI yet, but is currently developing a policy. So to make that jump might have been a little bit of an assumption. Other employers could soon face similar opposition from their AI-opposed staffers as well, especially now that Moss has opened the floodgates. Congratulations to her. You've now incorporated it into your religion. I can't do that because it's against my religion. I need to write my code by hand. It's got to be incredibly hard, but anything to get away from using AI, right? All right. Yeah. We'll take it. We'll take it. Let's switch gears here. And we'll switch gears into a little bit more of a serious thing. We lost a couple of friends here this past week in the paranormal. And it was a sad week indeed, probably one of the most sad weeks we've had in quite a while in the paranormal field. We'll start off by talking about Jeff Sylvia. Jeff was 60 years old, passed away tragically in the arms of his wife of heart failure. For those of you who aren't aware, Jeff and his wife Shannon had a worldwide podcast called Pararock TV for many, many years. And Jeff was a big Hockey fan, big Boston Bruins fan, big New England Patriots fan. Jeff's biggest passion was his two rescue dogs, Maybelline and Tater. He formed a myriad of memories with his dogs. His second passion was traveling the world with Shannon, making new memories, experiencing food and culture, and living life to the fullest. He also spent hours on his boat, reflecting and enjoying sunsets. He shared those moments with people, often on social media. And another of his outdoor favorites was riding ATVs with Shannon, among other friends, and even metal detecting in the woods. Jeff's celebration of life will be scheduled later on in the future. I know Jeff had been struggling with health for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Had some heart issues previously. 60 is a very young age to be leaving us. And we want to send our condolences to Shannon Sylvia and to the entire Sylvia family.
Yeah.
That's really, really a hard loss to take. We also want to send our condolences out to Christopher St. Booth and the entire Booth family. Philip Adrian Booth passed away this past week as well. If I were to tell you that Philip passed away at the age of 66, would you believe it?
Mm.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
Together, the Booth brothers produced many films you've seen on the Sci-Fi Channel and on Universal TV. Among those, Spooked, The Ghosts of Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Death Tunnel, Children of the Grave, The Haunted Boy, The Secret Diary of the Exorcist, Children of the Grave 2, The Exorcist File. There is a documentary that will be finished up by Christopher, having to do with their switch back to, I should say, music. They went viral a couple of years ago on TikTok when someone had found their music from the 80s. We had them on this very program talking about it. And I meant to grab the clip today, but I had a little bit of a hard time doing it. Where Philip talked about what it felt like to pick up that guitar for the first time. Philip absolutely, you could tell it was like a piece of him was disconnected when he put the guitar down. But when he picked it back up again, for ulterior motives, it reinvigorated him. It gave him a new direction. And it was like he found a lost part of himself to reintroduce himself to music. New creative juices started to flow. And it's true what people say. You're not creative in one lane alone. You know, you're not just a filmmaker. You're not just a writer. You're not just an actor. You're creative in a lot of different lanes. And if you ever sat and listened to Philip play guitar, he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's such a devastating loss that he left us so soon. I think it's safe to say that Christopher is devastated, being that that's his twin brother. It's like a part of him is missing, right? Like like losing a limb. I have plenty of personal memories of the two, which I think I'll keep to myself. But I can share this much on air. That when it came to the two of them, I don't think I've met two nicer, more genuine people in my life. loving, caring people in my life that if you ever needed anything or needed time from them, they were there in a heartbeat and are continue. And Christopher continues to be there, even in his time of grief, continues to be there for people. And it's hard to find people like that in this world that will put down their own burdens for other people. It's the best way I can put it, Mallie.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frequently, I would watch both Christopher and Philip put down their own burdens and go out and be there for other people. They could be having the worst day in the world, show up at a convention and turn it on and be there for other people who are having a terrible day. But the minute they showed up to see Christopher and Philip, their day was made.
Mm-hmm.
And that made them very happy. So, do you have any memories of Philip you want to share?
No, I just thought that he was extremely nice, very sweet.
Yeah. Just an amazing guy. I'll share this with you before we move on. The movie, what was the movie? It was one that had come out recently. Was it The Attached? I'm trying to remember. The Attached or Dead Still? They wanted a scene at the beginning of the movie where it was like a needle or something penetrating something.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling, as a matter of fact, it was at Michigan Paracon. I was telling Christopher, I said, I get these Avastin shots or chemo shots in my eye for this retinal vein occlusion. And he goes, "Oh, you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he calls Philip over. He goes, "Philip, listen to this." He goes, "Tim, tell him again." He goes, I said, "Well, I get these Avastin shots in my eye." I go, "First they numb it up with a shot, and then they give me a second shot, this chemo shot." And Philip, his eyes get wide, and he goes, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, really." And he goes, "Do you think?" And I go, "Do I think what?" And Christopher goes, and he's jumping up and down like they're both on the same wavelength. He goes, "Do you think they'd let you film that?" I go, "I'd love to. You guys want me to film it?" And the glee on their face is like, "Yes, yes, yes." They're jumping
Mm-hmm.
up and down. And I tell you, I argued with my surgeon for probably a good 2-3 weeks that I wanted to do this. And I said, "It's my eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to film you. I won't even film your fingers. I just need to film the needle point going into my eye, right? In extreme close up." They wouldn't let me do it. They said it involved HIPAA laws.
Yeah, but I've seen people have their surgeries recorded and they've
Mhm.
kept it.
Right. Because there was an agreement all the way around between
Oh,
nurse, doctor, and patient
okay.
that all that would be recorded. And it was recorded for medical purposes,
Okay.
for study. This was being recorded for commercial purposes.
Gotcha.
So when I told the boys, they could have been like, "Oh, come on," but they
Yeah.
were so gracious. They were like, "Oh,
Uh-huh.
well, we can figure something else out.
Right.
Big deal."
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I was disappointed for him. I was angry for him because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the scene for him. I thought that was the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't have any vanity to the point where I absolutely had to do it. But
Right. Well, and it'd also be like, that's my eyeball.
yeah,
Every time you watch the movie, that's my eye.
um, but I wanted to help them get the scene because they were
Yeah.
talking about, they wanted something absolutely shocking to open the movie, and a
Mm-hmm.
needle going in someone's eye, that close up would be absolutely shocking. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
heck yeah, I'll do it. just, but, yeah, I wanted to, I just wanted to do that for them because they had been there for me,
Mhm.
and really, um, come forward and help me out and done things for me. So I thought, why not? I can do that for you. That's cool. That's a cool idea.
Mhm.
But alas, it didn't happen. Um, but just the look, the two of them, like two little kids, just
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, you know, is something I'll always laugh about. It just, yeah. So, rest in peace, Philip.
Yes.
And, we, we hope you save us a spot. That's one of the first faces I want to see when I cross,
Mhm. Dressed
because
up like a rock star.
that's right. That's right. I was talking to my doctor, Dr. Schuster, about Philip, and I showed him a picture of Philip. I said, "How old do you think this man was?" He looked at him. And he goes, I don't know, 45, 50." I said, "Gotcha." I said, "He certainly played that way. He certainly played like he
Mhm.
was in his, 30s or 40s." So,
Yeah. I think the first time I saw him was at Scarefest.
yes, yeah, yep. And they were huge in the Scarefest community.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they were huge with Patty and Scarefest and all that. So, yeah,
Mhm.
that's going to be a huge, huge hole when it comes fall.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm sure by then Christopher will be um, recovered enough to go down to Scarefest. We'll see, but it's going to be tough for Christopher, I think, to do some events from here on out. But we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. But there is that uh, it's like a biopic that's coming out about the band, um, that both Philip and Christopher were putting together, and I think it was almost finished.
Okay.
So we have that to look forward to, um, and it's all about the revival of ulterior motives. So, um, and of course, you can go get ulterior motives, the lost album, which was recorded in the '80s and in 2024. It's a combination of songs, and it's quite good,
Mhm.
especially if you like, we were talking about Culture Club earlier, or any of the more synthy '80s music. It's really good.
Now, am I getting it mixed up with something else in my head? But wasn't something involved with a porn, with porn?
No, you're not getting it mixed up in your head. They had actually used one of the tracks from Ulterior Motives and Christopher laughs about it. But yeah, one of the tracks from Ulterior Motives was used in a porn.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, you got the story right.
Okay.
You got the story right.
Got it.
So
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, and people need to support. So, Shannon, going back, sorry.
Yes. Nope.
She owns, I think it's called Slutty Muffins. Speaking
Hmm.
of porn. Um, and I know right now it's on hold because of the
Hmm.
passing of her husband, but people need to support her when she starts her business again, uh, by buying from
Yes.
her baked goods.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Please do, folks, because it's important. People think when someone passes on that life just goes back to normal, everyone's okay. It's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Not necessarily true at all. And yeah, by all means. Shannon also has a cameo out there too. Um, so you can look up Shannon on her cameo, Shannon Sylvia on her cameo. You can contribute that way as well. So
Hmm. Wasn't she
um,
on Ghost? Wasn't she on Ghost
um,
Hunters Internet? Was it international?
yes, international. Yeah, yeah. So there's different ways in which you can help out and yeah, by all means, please find ways to help out both both Christopher and Shannon in this time of grief. Even if it's a simple note, just a note to either one,
Yeah.
let them know that you're thinking about them and you're grieving with them. I think that's you know That's always hopeful. It's always hopeful. So, all right, let's move forward here in the podcast, and let's get to some other stories. Let's keep dealing in the other side in this podcast. We were talking about there's a woman who said she had died and floated away from her body, where a being had asked her one question, Mallie. Mm-hmm. Barbara says she experienced death twice, and the second time she begged to come back. A woman says she died twice and watched doctors work on her lifeless body before choosing to return to it, first when she was 18 months old, but then again at 31. Barbara Bartolome stopped breathing and died for a short period as a toddler after developing a high fever. Despite her body turning purple and lifeless, that's in quotes, her family recalled her suddenly coming back to life. While Barbara was just a young child then, it was an experience that came back to haunt her when she was 31 years old, when her heart stopped during complications at the hospital, where she was prepping for a surgery on her back. When she opened her eyes, she found herself floating above near the hospital room ceiling, watching her body being worked on as medics fought to revive her. I was out of body looking down at the whole scene, said Barbara, who lives in Santa Barbara, California. The panic I was feeling in my body was gone. I felt wrapped in a beautiful blanket of love and acceptance, and I felt absolutely wonderful. I looked down at what was happening below. The surgeon was calling code blue. I calmly said, if I'm up here and my body is down there and he's calling code blue, I think I just died. Right when I said that, there was a feeling of a being that was right next to me, and the being felt like I had known him forever. I felt like it was God. I felt absolute acceptance and absolute love and comfort. When he was next to me, I was a pure being, a pure spirit. It was just incredible. It was life-changing to have that feeling of him being right there. I had been on the earth for 31 years at that time, but I felt it was way beyond that. In other words, she felt like she had been here longer than 31 years. Mm-hmm. Barbara is now 69 years old and was in the hospital at the time, back in December of 1987, for a laminectomy. A laminectomy discectomy, it says here, or decompression surgeries to treat nerve pain in her back. Part of the prep for the procedure included a myogram, where iodine is injected into the spinal cord in order to check for damage. But Barbara, who had welcomed her daughter, Julie, for just 4 months prior, and also a son, Scott, at home, claims an x-ray tech accidentally pressed a button that moved the table she was lying on, causing the dye to leak into her brain. Right. She began to feel faint prior to losing consciousness and waking up to see the room below, where the orthopedic surgeon and neurosurgeon, 2 x-ray techs, and a nurse began working to save her. Barbara recalls talking to the being next to her, while doctors and nurses panicked below and performed CPR on her. But worried about her young children, she knew she had to return to her body. She said, I was saying I need to go back while I was watching everything down below. They had an oxygen mask on my face, and they were switching between that and chest compressions. As a medic applied a heart monitor, she saw herself flatline. She even recalls one surgeon saying, too much time has passed. She's going to be brain dead, before the other surgeon used his fist to pound on her chest. Barbara said, I watched my body while that happened and watched the whole thing from above, and my body jerked. I didn't go back into my body, but up on the ceiling, as I was looking down, the being spoke to me. In what she describes as a beautiful voice, Barbara recalls being asked what she would do if she returned to herself. Flashes of bad memories crossed her mind, and she came to the realization that she needed to make some changes, including including ending her marriage and prioritizing herself and her children. She begged to return to her life. She said, the second I said it, the surgeon did the second thump and it restarted my heart. I opened up my eyes and I was back in my body with the oxygen mask on my face. They were all astonished. Barbara recalls them stabilizing her before she was able to talk and recount what had happened in detail. One of the surgeons freaked out and left the room with the other, while the other wanted her to repeat the tale. Barbara rested for the evening and had the planned surgery the following day, a laminectomy discectomy, and recovered in the hospital for 4 days, though she says no one would talk to her about the experience. Really? I would have talked to her about it. I don't
Well,
know.
they probably don't they didn't want to be reminded that they're going to be sued.
Right? Yeah, they probably didn't want to remind her of the mistakes that were made, especially
Yep.
if she saw the entire thing. But that didn't make her doubt what she had seen, having never taken drugs and not been a drinker, or having never hallucinated before. She knew that what she had experienced was real. Barbara said, it was as real every time I thought about it as it was happening, as when it was happening. Talking about it now, if I were to shut my eyes, I would see down where the table is and where the people were. I could see the whole room. With no one able to believe her, Barbara didn't speak about it again for 12 years, but she kept her vow to the being, ending her marriage and becoming a single parent to her son and daughter. She wasn't sure if she would ever find love again, but decided to jot down a list of traits her ideal partner would have, and eventually went on to meet the man, her now husband, Victor. More than 3 decades on, he remains a strong supporter of hers and all that she went through as well. And Barbara slowly opened up to other people in her life too, including one of Julie's friends, Mother's, who told her it was called a near-death experience and explained that other people online had shared similar accounts. Interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny nobody at the hospital would talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Of course, in the company of an attorney or someone in HR.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the ex-husband was very happy about this.
Yeah.
He thinks everything's fine.
Yeah. He's like, so, honey, we going to get back to the relationship or what? She's like, no, we're going to call a divorce attorney.
Yeah. He goes to see how she's doing from surgery.
Yeah.
Little thing of bouquet of flowers.
Yeah.
I want a divorce. What?
You what? But I'm making an honest effort. Not enough.
Yeah.
Not according to what God said.
Yeah. There's this voice. They
Yeah,
basically said you suck.
It's like, kick him to the curb, girl. And I was
like, if you want to return back to Earth, you need to get divorced.
Want to go back to your body, you got to get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you bet. Mm-hmm. Done. That's right. Kick him to the curb. Mm-hmm.
No questions asked.
How would you like to get relationship advice from God and go, I don't think so. No, I'll skip that one. But that's okay. I loves my man. Start doing that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not like an episode of Maury. I don't think you could, necessarily tell God no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our next story has to do with ghost kids that haunt the city center shop and leave tiny little footprints every night. Aw. Aw. It's the cutest little ghost story ever. Would you get pissed off because they were leaving ghost footprints after you had mopped the floor?
That wouldn't bug me as much as handprints.
Oh, yeah. There's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They left little handprints everywhere.
Yeah, that's harder to get off.
Yeah, true. Staff at a city center electrical shop say that they're being hounded by eerie goings-on that make your skin crawl, including barefoot child-sized footprints and there are handprints. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
Yeah. And handprints mysteriously appearing on freshly mopped floors. What are they, crawling around like monkeys? Why are there handprints on the floors?
Yeah.
Workers at the appliance store located in the heart of Mendoza, Argentina, told the Mendoza Post that the activity has ramped up in recent weeks, and now they feel it's impossible to ignore. According to the team, the spooky streak began as a series of odd, explainable moments, strange noises out back, the odd scuff mark where there should be none, but then came clear prints that looked like the wet impression of little feet and tiny hands Oh, that's so cute. Dotted around the shop floor one morning, despite the place being scrubbed spotless at close. We thought, let's document it. We took photos. We checked the cameras to see what was happening. One spokesperson said. Another added, it gives you a weird feeling, but like there's something else here. Critically, the store's alarms reportedly never triggered. The CCTV showed no one in and no one's passing, and yet the marks kept turning up by opening time of the store. What really rattled the staff was the shape and size of the impressions. When we close, we clean. We wash the floor, a worker told Mendoza Post. When we arrive in the morning, there are footprints like barefoot children's feet in different parts of the store. Well, they're looking around. Mm-hmm. Probably looking for like Pop-Tarts and stuff, and all you got is electrical stuff around. Alongside those were small palm prints, sometimes lined up in a way that suggested someone or something had been moving low to the ground. It's like they'd been crawling through the shop, another employee remarked. The pattern, they claim, has turned into a strange routine. The evening clean banishes all marks. The morning reveals fresh ones in new spots. Oh, so they're active in the early morning. It leaves you with a strange sensation, said a warehouse worker. At first, we thought the noises were bleeding in from nearby businesses. Now we don't know. In the back, in the back where boxes of blenders and TVs sit stacked high. The team reports bumps, shuffles, and odd clatter, even when just one person is working alone. There are sounds, movements. One said, we thought it could be from neighboring shops, but now we're not so sure. With curiosity morphing into concern, the crew dug into the site's history and claimed that they uncovered an eerie echo of the past. Before it was an appliance showroom, the corner of Cal España and General Paz was once an area of modest low houses and bustling tenements, according to the staff's research. Nearby ran the railway, and the neighborhood teemed with immigrant families seeking a start. In the past, the place would have had the children scurrying about from dawn till dusk. That has the shop workers wondering whether yesterday's footsteps are somehow imprinting on today. That's a tongue twister.
Mm-hmm. And you said that there was video that they set up?
Yeah, they had set up video. I'm trying to see if it's attached to this article, however.
Because I thought you said camera, but I didn't know about video. Because I'm like, what if it's because what is it called when they live in their ceiling? Is it frogging? What is it? Because what if it's like kids living in the ceilings?
Oh, yeah. If it's someone who's living in the ceiling, yes. Yeah, that they come down and then, yeah. But this is an actual ghost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying, that maybe there's a kid living in the place and they're just coming out and making marks and then ascending back into the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think this is it. Although that'd be something, wouldn't it? If you had kids living in your place. Now that's creepy.
Yeah, that's creepier than a ghost. That's why I was wondering if there was like actual video or if they just,
I don't have video. Although I'd rather prefer that video of the kids sneaking out of the ceiling.
Oh,
crawling around the store at night. That'd creep you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Now you're onto something, Mal. All right. We talked about a time traveler last week who was in from the year 6000, talking about how AI was running everything. There's now another time travel story this week, this time an eerie World War II photo sparking a wild time travel claim after viewers spotted an impossible detail. An image taken in the 1940s has resurfaced online while sparking wild time travel theories. over an apparent impossibility hidden in plain sight. The photograph captured on a busy street in, I believe this is Reykjavik, Iceland,
Oh, okay.
in 1943 during World War II, appears to show a smartly dressed man among a crowd of soldiers holding an object to his ear. The strange detail has fueled speculation that the unidentified figure was using a cell phone decades before the technology was invented. The first mobile phone, the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, went on sale in 1983, which was 40 years after this photo was taken. Christian Hoffman, whose family has had the photo for decades, previously shared the picture on Facebook, writing, "The American Army is taking over Icelandic splendor, as you can see. One thing that draws attention to this beautiful picture is that above the window in the corner of the middle of the picture, the man is leaning and is on a cell phone." The post has sparked a debate, with some Facebook users agreeing with Hoffman. Others suggested the man was scratching his ear and holding a watch to his ear to make sure that it was working. Hoffman, however, pushed the time traveler idea even further, noting he's in a stupor, standing alone, wearing a different headdress, and the others in a scarf, and acting like we would today. I'm going to show you this picture here in a minute, Mallie, so you can see what I'm talking about. The image was shared by Hoffman in 2016, but has resurfaced this week, captivating the internet with the possibility of time travel. The photo was also shared on X, where users speculated the man could be holding a little radio. However, the small transistor radio that actually wasn't released until the 1950s. So he couldn't be holding up a transistor to his ear.
Right.
One user joked, "Guy scratches ear 83 years later, gets accused of being a time traveler." Unless there were secret cell phone towers, a cell phone would be useless back then, another ex-user pointed out. Another theory was that the man may have been operating as a spy for the Axis powers. Iceland officially remained neutral throughout World War II, but was occupied by Allied forces. Because of its crucial strategic location, the island was taken over by the British in 1940 to prevent a German invasion. But the defense was later, handed over to the U.S. A similar theory emerged about Mike Tyson in a boxing match from '95. It's a lot of the same thing. Someone holding something there's no way they should have had access to during that time. Let me show you the picture here. I'm going to zoom in on him so that you can see this in its entirety. It's kind of funny. This guy kind of looks like a younger version of my grandfather, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Kind of looks like he's talking on something, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised someone hasn't asked AI what the guy's doing.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'll give it, you know. It definitely looks like he's talking on a phone. I mean, because he's kind of the way he's holding it. It's the way you hold a phone. There's no way he's listening to a watch, because when you listen to a watch, you've got a tighter grip on a watch.
Right.
He's got a very loose grip. So like I'm holding my phone right now. He's got that loose grip on a phone.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Bizarre.
Could you see him itching his ear or scratching his ear?
It doesn't look like an ear scratch because his hand is further down. So it's almost like, and it's away from his head like this. So I don't know. That's a stretch too. So it'd be like if I were itching my ear like this, I'd really have to be in there. Yeah, I don't know. And he's not, you know how when you itch your ear,
Yeah, you squint your eye.
Squint your eye. He's not
Uh-huh.
squinting his eye.
Mm.
So I don't know. Not a lot there that says that maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. There's an article this week that says that U.S. women are defying men in church, and there's a rise in witchcraft retreats.
You tell a man no, and all of a sudden you're a witch.
Right. You go hang out with a couple of women, and all of a sudden you're a witch, right?
Yeah, it's a coven.
Right. Um, it starts out saying on the floor of a sun-drenched room in a 200-year-old Irish estate, a group of 15 witches gather to commune with the spirits. Everyone has someone they want to talk to, dead ancestors, forest fairies, or witches who came before them. And the room has the same expectant charge as the first day of school. Some of the witches wear long black capes and bandanas. Some of them wear Columbia fleeces, the jacket of many witches, by the way. Spaghetti strap tank tops and Adidas sneakers. Isabella Ferrari, known as Penny the Witch, that would be a great cartoon, wouldn't it? Penny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds cute.
It does. Guides the women as they make divination maps, sheets of paper covered with yeses and nos that work like Ouija boards. The witches ask their questions, and the spirit guides the crystal pendulums with their hands towards the answers. One of the women, Terramonte, screeches as her pendulum begins circling uncontrollably. Isabella, do I stop this? She says. Someone really wants to talk to me. Later, she will confess she believes it was her archangel Michael letting her know yes. Her parents are really proud of her. Yes, they still loved her. It's the first full day of Greenvale, a sold-out witchcraft retreat. Ferrari regularly teaches or hosts to teach women from around the world how to conduct their own spellcraft sessions and broader somatic healing work. I almost said semantic, but it's somatic. They make candles together. They confront their ancestral trauma. They form a tight community through their retreats. Through the retreat, they form a tight community, though the retreat is only 2.5 days long. There, I got that out. We're so used to not trusting ourselves and to second guessing our intuition, especially women who have been taught to disconnect from their inner wisdom, Ferrari tells them. In a sense, this divination workshop is less about the spirits than the women themselves. A practice of learning to believe you have the power to summon answers, to regard your own instincts as something sacred. As a final housekeeping announcement, Ferrari encourages everyone to avoid the underworld and its demons. Today, stay with the fairies, she says, an instruction met with completely comprehending gazes. Later, the process of sharing who they summoned becomes intensely emotional. I spoke with my boyfriend who killed himself, Monty says. I spoke with the brother who was like a father to me, says a Massachusetts-based hearing specialist. Another woman forgoes her divination map to instead scrawl out a message in an unknown language. She says an unnamed spirit delivered to her. How do you know it's not a demon?
That's true. Unknown language.
That's right. As they share their stories, the women weep together, but what they have summoned in reaching their dead is not only grief, it is also frustration that lives underneath their loneliness. Ferrari instructs the women to lean into those feelings, chanting together, I will learn to use my voice, and I am so afraid. Do you really want to be afraid in front of some big bad entity like that?
Yeah, because I thought you weren't supposed to tell them that you're afraid.
Right. Perhaps louder than anything else, she has the women practice calling out, I am so angry, I am so angry, I am so angry. This sounds like an SNL skit. For many, it is the first time they have had said it out loud in a room that wanted to hear it. Well, that's healthy. I mean, I'll give them that. Ferrari, who is Italian, has filled rooms like this over and over again across continents. When her Ireland dates in April first sold out, she also added more. Those are sold out too, for ticket prices ranging from 1,900 pounds to 3,000 pounds. With more than 180,000 followers on Instagram, her version of witchcraft is both spiritual and entrepreneurial, providing both a sanctuary for expressing the accumulated distrust and fatigue of women who have failed to find belonging in the churches, workplaces, and political structures meant to hold them. Witchcraft retreats like Ferraris have I can't say that word, proliferated across the U.S. and Europe over the last decade. The practice they've built around resists easy definition, equal parts ancient folk magic, herbal remedies, and self-soothing rituals. It encompasses everything from the spellcasting done by a self-directed pagan to solitary practitioners who scatter protective salts around their horses. If you buy a crystal, that's witchcraft. If you practice manifestation, that's witchcraft. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here because it's a little bit of a longer story. But it looks like, it says here, whether you're a devout Wiccan or someone who wants a hex for an old grudge, there's an Etsy witch for it. There's even an Etsy part to the story, I guess. There's a corner tarot shop for that as well. Practitioners who want to monetize their craft can attend Witch Biz Academy. Say that 10 times fast. While a British university is offering a PhD in magic, everybody wants to see a practical magic reboot. I can't even say that. And there are about 100 different ways to watch a witch on television, all to say that witchcraft is too popular and too profitable to be considered fringe anymore. What remains alternative about it is the spell casting and the crystal work then, but the DIY spiritual framework. I like that there's no dogma to it, says Ashley Clore, who is a self-described psychic medium and practicing witch. For Clore, every woman is a witch. And like a witch, every woman knows how it feels to be told she's crazy. Why is there such a negative connotation to all?
Yeah.
Clora hosts at least 2 witchcraft retreats a year in Savannah, Georgia, and Salem, Massachusetts. Prices for these, by the way, run anywhere from $2,700 to $5,200 to attend. Seems kind of high. Yeah. She says women are searching for something beyond the slumber party Ouija board rituals that loosely inspired her retreats in the first place. She says the patriarchy is not good for anybody, men or women, Clore said. Women have been inherently drawn to witchcraft spaces after being demonized or called hysterical or stigmatized. She says, we're so effing sick of it. We're going to do things our way, whether you call it crazy or not. Huh. You seem to have a little bit of an angry vibe there.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. All right, just a couple more before we wrap it up today. I told you earlier that NASA has a futuristic Son of Concorde flight. Son of Concorde flight.
You are tired.
I'm getting to the end of my rope here.
You are spent.
I'm spent. I'm at the end of my rope. A futuristic Son of Concorde flight, a test flight that reached 713 miles per hour. To give you an idea of how fast this is, the impressive new plane underwent a highly successful 81-minute test flight on Friday. They reached a top speed of Mach 1.1. It's pretty quick. That'll get your DoorDash to your door in almost no time flat. It's known as the X-59 Low Boom Flight Demonstration Aircraft. The plane was revealed at an event at Lockheed Martin Skunk Works facility in California back in 2024, after years of speculation. It measures just 100 feet long, the plane does, capable of speeds of around 1,000 miles per hour. That's fast. And costs $247.5 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit more than you and I have in pocket change.
Just a tiny bit.
The X-59 has been designed to reduce the typically deafening sonic boom into a mere sonic thud. Boom. It accomplishes this thanks to its unique shape, which helps to break up the sound waves typically produced when an aircraft exceeds the speed of sound. Around 1/3 of the plane's entire body is comprised of a long, slender nose, while its windscreen has been replaced with a series of cameras, enabling the pilot to see both in front and below. Powered by a GE Aviation F414 GE 100 jet engine, the X-59 underwent its first test flight last week, reaching a speed of 713 miles per hour, or Mach 1.1, at an altitude of 43,400 feet. Now, you would have to get way high up in the air to go that fast, because otherwise you're going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll never see it coming. Future flights will aim to fly above population centers to gauge the public's reaction to its dampened booms. The International Civil Aviation Organization's Committee on Aviation Environmental Protection, say that 10 times fast, will ultimately use this data to produce new noise regulations for supersonic flights. So you don't get a boom, you get a thud.
But is it really necessary, though?
Only for traveler comfort, right? So if you want to get from New York to Paris, I only remember this from a Steely Dan lyric. So the whole thing was actually it was Donald Fagen who said 90 minutes from New York to Paris. So it's supposed to be in the future, right? Get there from on an airplane from 90 minutes. I think the idea is eventually, boom, we'll be able to do it faster and faster, right?
But sometimes I just feel like sometimes when you do that, it doesn't turn out good.
I think it's got to be an incredible shock on the body.
Yeah.
Right. But you have an impatient society, you know. Give me more, give me it quick, give me it now, right?
Yeah.
But
I guess I just watch too many disaster movies where
yeah.
these don't turn out right.
You can't build a compound strong enough to survive that crash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're launching yourself at, 1,000 miles per hour or whatever it is, if you crash, good luck. I mean,
Yeah.
you're dead. There's no way you survive that.
I just see too many things going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way you can live. But maybe that's part of what you're signing on for. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to get flung across the continents or whatever to make it. Let's say you're going from New York to Paris.
Uh-huh.
And you want to minimize your travel time. Let's say you can't sit. Maybe you're like me, you have chronic pain, right? And you've always wanted to go to Europe, but you can't sit 14 hours or whatever it is to go there. So you take the Son of the Concorde. You're like, it's going to get me there in 3 hours or whatever it is. You're like, yay. Right. I mean, I have a tough time already flying to LA.
Mm-hmm.
LA is a killer flight for me. So you think, all right, well, if I can get to Paris in that time, well, let's do it, right? But I'm already taking a huge risk, huge chance. Come on. But if I make it there successfully, boy, I just gained what, 10 hours in a whole different country because I took the risk. You know the saying, Mallie, time is money. So it might be worth it to some people. That's the story. Our next story has to do with some historic vessels that are consistent with alchemy, which were found in a German castle. Investigations at, I believe this is Nanstein Castle, have revealed the discovery of evidence pointing to alchemical practices For centuries, people have been obsessed with the idea of turning base metals into gold or of inventing an elixir capable of making anyone who drinks it immortal. With these goals, it says, with these goals never achieved, the practice of alchemy remains a fascinating subject, as it was also responsible for many genuine medical discoveries and advances. Now, archaeologists working at Germany's Grandstein Castle have discovered vessels that were believed to have been used as part of various alchemical processes. The finds include a tall green and yellow vessel thought to be some sort of distillation flask. The researchers believe that the objects date back to the 15th or 16th centuries. Sadly, it wasn't possible to determine what might have once been stored inside the vessels. Exactly what alchemical experiments might have once been conducted within the castle's chambers continued to remain a topic of ongoing debate and intrigue. I don't know. What can you make in a castle? Never been there. Never been. Two more, and then we'll do our palate cleanser today, and they both have to do with the sea. Researchers have discovered the world's largest known whale graveyard. A region of the ocean floor off the coast of Australia has been found to contain a significant number of whale remains due to the depth of the ocean. When a large creature such as a whale dies and the remains sink to the ocean floor, it's usually very rare for any human deep sea explorer to come across them, kind of like Bigfoot. Even rarer is finding several of them in the same place. This, however, was what researchers from China recently discovered in the Indian Ocean along an area known as the Diamantina Zone, which is a 1,200 kilometer stretch of deep sea ridges and trenches. Within this region, the team found 5 separate whale falls. Whale Falls sounds like a place in Minnesota, as well as hundreds of cetacean falls. What makes the discovery particularly significant is that there is evidence that this particular area has acted as a sort of whale graveyard for a very long time. Among the remains were fossils dating back 5.3 million years, as well as the skull of an extinct species of beaked whales that was, until now, totally unknown to science. Oh, wow. These findings reshape our understanding of the limits and biogeography of whale fall ecosystems and establish some deep sea floors as fossil archive for tracing cetacean revolution over geological time, said study lead author Ji-Kun Song. So, yes, Virginia, whales have graveyards. That'll keep you up at night. Won't keep me up at night, but it'll keep you up at night. Spooky. And also spooky, and something to keep in mind, there's a warning in New York over an invasive fish that can survive out of water. Yes, there's such a thing as a fish out of water. And coming at you like this.
Because it doesn't have like legs and feet.
True. A species of invasive fish in the United States has prompted a warning from wildlife authorities in multiple states. Invasive species are a growing concern across the world, but the U.S. in particular seems to have been plagued by all manner of invasive animals in recent years, causing concern over the impact these species might have on native wildlife. One example is the northern snakehead. That seems like it can come at you.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound good.
Yeah. It's a type of fish from Asia that has managed to establish itself not only in the mid-Atlantic and eastern U.S., but now in New York State as well. Merry Christmas. This particular creature has no natural predators and is even able to survive out of water for days at a time, providing it doesn't dry out, enabling it to move from one body of water to another. So concerning is the impact on the local ecosystem that wildlife officials have taken to asking anglers not to return them to the wild if caught and to take steps to kill any that they happen to catch. That good, huh? They don't belong. They don't have a natural predator. They will screw up our native fish populations. They tend to eat pretty much anything they can put in their very large mouths, said New York State Regional Fisheries Manager Heidi O'Riordan. She told that to CBS News. The fish, which resembles a snake, can lay thousands of eggs at once.
Oh, God.
And they can hatch within days.
Ugh.
You're welcome.
And they eat anything?
They eat anything.
Blech.
Exactly how many there are already in the waterways of the U.S. remains unclear. So go on out and look for them by name. You may find one in a grocery store near you. No, I'm just kidding. The snake had everybody.
Gross.
Yeah. All right. With that, I feel like we need a real good old-fashioned palate cleanser. One that we can all look forward to, right? A little something to make us happy. I saw this story. It made me ecstatic. I'll tell you why, Mal. It's been a rough week, especially pain-wise. So I says to myself, I says, I need a bit of good news. Well, I ran across this article, Mallie, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be happy to hear this as well. Stanford scientists have managed to regrow lost cartilage and reverse arthritis in a major breakthrough. Right? Scientists may have found a way to regrow aging cartilage. I got to stop drinking rum and Coke before the broadcast. And stop arthritis before it starts, potentially making joint replacements far less common. Now, I don't know if you've ever known somebody or loved somebody who's had a joint replacement.
Nope.
I watched my grandmother before she passed do 2 knee replacements back to back. It was heart-wrenching. It was one of the most painful things I've ever watched somebody go through. This was back when, I mean, they would take out the bone and just, boom, put the knee in, right?
Yeah.
They'd saw off your bones, put the knee replacement in, and, you know, they do one, and then 6 weeks later, they do the other. And it was barbaric. That's the only way to put it, was barbaric. But a new treatment that blocks an aging-related protein restored lost cartilage in old mice. I just see a little old mouse with a cane walking around. It was like, give me my cartilage back. And help prevent arthritis after knee injuries. Human cartilage samples showed similar signs of regeneration, raising hopes for a future drug that could repair joints instead of replacing them. That's something kind of cool. A treatment that targets a protein linked to aging has restored lost knee cartilage in older mice, prevented arthritis from developing after serious joint injuries. Researchers also found encouraging results in human tissue. Samples collected during knee replacement surgeries began producing new functional cartilage when exposed to the treatment. The findings raised the possibility that damaged cartilage caused by aging or osteoarthritis could one day be repaired with either a local injection or an oral medication, which is even better. If you could just,
that would be nice.
Oh, if you could just take a pill, repair all the torn cartilage in your knees or your back or wherever, it'd be wonderful. If successful in people, or your shoulder, if successful in people, the approach could reduce the need for knee and hip replacement surgeries. Imagine that. An oral version of the treatment is already being tested in clinical trials for age-related muscle weakness. So imagine that, kids. No more muscle weakness. By the way, osteoarthritis, most common form of arthritis, and affects 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. The disease gradually breaks down cartilage in the joints, causing pain, stiffness, and swelling. It's estimated to generate roughly $65 billion in direct healthcare costs each year. Can you imagine that one pill might wipe that out?
But now the question is, are pharmaceutical companies going to charge like an arm and a leg for it?
I'm sure at first. But it could become as common as aspirin to treat. I just think of it. It could be, and they call these things gyrozymes or gyrozymes, Gerozyme.
Okay.
The new treatment works by blocking a protein called 15-PGDH. These proteins that break down your cartilage. Same research team first identified gyrozymes in 2023. Previous studies showed that 15-PDGH plays a major role in age-related muscle decline in mice. When researchers block the protein, older animals gain muscle mass and endurance. When the protein is artificially increased in young mice, their muscles became weaker and smaller. Scientists have also linked 15-PGDH to the regeneration of bone, nerve, and blood cells. It's not the fountain of youth,
right?
But it's getting close. It's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a way to regenerate cartilage in some muscle. I think that's a step in the right direction. It's better than what we've been hearing lately. You know, almost everything we have is preventative. It's not regenerative.
Right.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. That's
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. But it's I read that and I thought, you know what? That's pretty cool. Here's hoping it's it's a step in the right direction for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to be able to regenerate some of the cartilage I've torn.
Yeah.
You know, it'd just be easier to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Because
all the athletes that will do well from that.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you've ever had to have a rooster comb shot in your knee, you know what it's like. It's horrible. And it almost never works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's hoping that this will work. So yeah. Good stuff. So that's how we end today. On a positive note.
Yay.
Hey, that maybe someday we'll get our cartilage back. You gotta look at it that way. Someday, hopefully, we'll get our cartilage back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. All right. Any notes on your end, Mallie, before we launch into the end of this deal?
I am working on organizing an investigation.
Really?
Yeah, a little paranormal investigation here in town. Otherwise, that is basically it. So yeah, it's been a while since I've investigated somewhere.
Yeah. Can you give us any hints as to potentially where, or is that...
It is a church.
Really?
Yeah. So it's weird because the last place I investigated was a church. So we got some really cool things, but like chanting and stuff. But yeah, actually it was weird because I reached out to that person that I met up with for that investigation just to say hi.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "It's so funny you reached out to me because I was just talking to my friend and she wants you to investigate the church that she goes to." And I was like, "What?" So my town is very haunted. Yeah, everybody I talk to, their house is haunted, their business is haunted. This whole area, we've had a war, we've had, mob crime here, we've had all these things here. And so we've got a lot of history. So
wow.
A lot of hauntings.
All right.
So yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. How about you?
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few things in the hopper, but tomorrow's show is one of them. Tomorrow on the big program, Rebecca Carmichael will be with us. And she'll be demystifying ghost hunting for a new generation. So it kind of ties into what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. We will be talking to Rebecca about a number of topics. She's got a brand new book out there called, if you're ready for this, if I can get the thing to come up here. That seems to be my issue today. She's got a brand new book that is called I know it says the something ghost hunting. Yes. The Not So Scary Guide to Ghosts.
Okay.
And how to make the paranormal normal.
All right.
So we'll be talking about that book tomorrow on the big show. But that is our show tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, and we got some other things in the hopper as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on. So always something going on. Always something going on. So that'll do it for today, though. To remind you guys, make sure you've got your Darkness Radio Apple apps updated. Make sure that you support the show and order your True Crime Tuesday and Darkness Radio swag. Please help us out here and support the show. Remember, the only way that we support the show around here is not only through the ads you hear on the show, but if you actually contribute to the show and order some swag. So please, if you would, order some swag, help us out. I think that's it, Mallie. I think that's all I got for people. Oh, by the way, also, the executive producer of this program is Troy Palmer. Thank you, Troy, for everything you do. And our we forgot to mention our sponsor today is Jelly Bean and Julia. So, again, your specials for this week, you've got your bar specials for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. You've got the prime rib special out there on Friday, that wonderful smoked prime rib on Friday. Make sure you go out there, and I'll be out there on Friday night for the smoked prime rib this week. And then on Sunday, you've got breakfast out there. JellyBeanandJulia's.com. Make sure that you check out Jelly Bean and Julia's. Not only do great barbecue, you've got live entertainment on Saturday. You've got breakfast on Sunday. JellyBeanandJulia's.com. And I think that's it, Mallie. I think that's it. Tomorrow when we check in with Rebecca Carmichael and ghost hunting for a new generation. All righty.
All right.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow for Rebecca Carmichael right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, please make sure you like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this videocast, including audio, video, descriptions, or accounts of today's show is prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching. And tune in tomorrow for How to Make the Paranormal Normal with Rebecca Carmichael.